And Michelle mentioned our significant, very successful event in Los Angeles. I also just want to add my thanks. Michelle, Maricela, there were a lot of folks involved, but I'll tell you this, that event with 310 guests and more than 20 sponsors could not have been possible without the help of Norma Vega. And I want to thank Norma Vega for all of her help. At each luncheon, we reserve a 3-minute portion of our program to learn more about an organization that is advancing our interests of the Latino community. Today, we feature the New America Alliance, a Latino initiative for raising the awareness of investment opportunities in the Latino sector. Roel Campos is board chair of the New America Alliance, former member of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission from 2002 to 2007, and now a partner at the Washington, D.C. firm of Locke, Lord, Bissell, and Liddell. Please welcome former SEC Commissioner Roel Campos to the podium for remarks.
Good afternoon, and let me first of all begin by adding my congratulations to Mickey and to the network that he's been able to build up. It's quite impressive, and what an honor to be in front of all of you who have accomplished so much. When I began at the commission in 2002, August of 2002, it was in the aftermath of Enron and WorldCom, and we had a bill called Sarbanes-Oxley. How quaint it all looks, looking at what happened in 2008, 2009. You know, the world that Rosie Rios, who will be speaking to you later, has been facing with the administration. In my era, when I came into the commission, we had executives who had made up numbers and who had fabricated revenues that didn't exist, and essentially lied on their financial statements. Again, that seems so quaint, so straightforward, simple lies. Today, we can't figure out exactly who caused the financial crisis, whether it was the brokers who allowed these mortgages, subprime, to go to many in our community, unfortunately, who now have problems with foreclosures, or was it the credit rating agencies, or was it the banks who essentially organized the portfolios? We now worry about too big to fail or too connected to fail, systemic risk. The world has just gotten more and more complicated. But I'm not here to talk about that. That's another speech that I deal with. I'm here today because I'm also very honored today, besides my day job, which is a senior lawyer, senior partner at a national law firm that we now call ourselves as Locke Lord. We have offices all over the country, Houston, Dallas, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, in DC. And I'm one of the senior lawyers here in DC. But besides that day job, which goes well into the evening, I've been honored to be the chair of an organization that's called the New America Alliance. I see people here that I've dealt with at other times, and so you may know about us. And because Mickey's got a strict stopwatch on me, I'm going to tell you about my organization very, very quickly. The New America Alliance was begun about 11 years ago, a little longer than Mickey's network. And it was begun by the honoree that was just mentioned, Henry Cisneros and Raul Izaguirre. And 11 years ago, both of them came together and they thought that, our community in America, our Hispanic community in America, is constantly being painted incorrectly, as Senator Menendez said. It's not just about immigration. Many of us have been here, and our families have been here for many generations, but we are very much involved in the mainstream of America, in our economy, in the professions, and so forth. And so what Henry and Raul were thinking was that we should put together a group of national leaders from the business community and professionals who had a view and a vision of giving back to the community in America, that is the Hispanic and Latino community in America. We made it very clear from the very beginning that we would be bipartisan, that it would be all Latinos, whether you're Cubano or whether Puerto Rican, or whether you're Mexican, and so forth. It didn't matter. The key was that we were all together in the business world or the professions, and we wanted to give back. So our purpose is essentially to mentor young leaders, like many that are here, that are coming up from the business perspective. Our mission includes helping our community gain access to capital, which means, with all of you know the numbers, let me just sort of go there. There's 50 million of us in America, right? We have about $1 trillion of spending power, and yet corporate America barely knows we exist. They certainly are aware of us when we buy their products, but they haven't yet figured out a way to work with Hispanic business people and Hispanic investors. And we have a group of people who are members that are fund managers, and our fund managers do not get very many allocations from corporate America, even though they do very well and they have great alpha. So we are looking to do that. So we're looking to improve access to capital, and we're looking to help create human capital, which is again the next generation and our current generation coming up. So we're very interested in things like financial literacy and education. We recently, I'll take just 10 seconds on this, had our annual signature event, which is called the New America Wall Street Summit. And we had people like Saul Trujillo, one of the business pioneers in America, former president of US West, speak to us and talk to us about the Latino community. By his way of figuring, the Latino community in the US is a G10 country. Think about that. We're ahead of the BRIC countries. We're ahead of Brazil. We're ahead of Russia. We're ahead of India. We're ahead of China in terms of the per capita expenditures and the per capita income that our community in the United States represents. And we hardly get the investment and the attention of Wall Street. We heard from Cesar Conde, the president of Univision. We heard from various individuals who can invest in our members, in our funds, and in our sector, from the pension plans, the controller of New York, the controller of the city of New York, and we had members from the pension plans and senior executives from California, CalPERS, CalSTRS, and also from TRS, the Texas Teachers Retirement System. We had Arianna Huffington speak to us and speak very movingly about the fact that she is an immigrant. She is from Greece, and her mother, she said, in a very emotional moment, spent or sold everything she had and borrowed everything she could to send her daughter to, who was Arianna, to Cambridge in London. Just like the same way our parents do the same for our children. So it was a very moving moment that related to the community that we are part of. So I invite you to look us up on our website. Our membership is strong and committed, and we always need new ideas, new blood. We have initiatives, again, that deal with literacy, financial literacy, that deal with teaching young people about business and giving them some of the business skills that you don't get in the classroom. And we want to educate corporate America about the benefits and the opportunities that exist in our community, so that we get more investment capital that can be used by our members, by the community in general, to build their businesses, to hire our workers, to hire our people, and to contribute to America, to be part of the mainstream. Thanks very much.
I also want to thank the terrific staff here at the Capitol Hilton and our servers who make it possible for us to enjoy lunch. Please join me in thanking our servers. Our main course will now be served. We'll take a brief break. We'll return with the introduction of Julie and her keynote remarks. Thank you. Those of you that are veterans of the Latino Leaders Luncheon Series know that we take a lot of pride in starting on time and ending on time. And that's because we understand the competition for your time and attention. It is ferocious in our nation's capital. We are delighted to be joined today by Rosie Rios, the 43rd Treasurer of the United States. She has direct oversight of the U.S. Mint, Bureau of Engraving and Printing, and Fort Knox, is a key liaison to the Federal Reserve, and serves as a senior advisor to the Secretary of the Treasury. However, before bringing Rosie to the podium to introduce our keynote, we want to take the opportunity to welcome all of you. Please join me in welcoming Vincent Gray, the Mayor of Washington, D.C. Right here. Bobby Garcia stole my thunder a bit, but it's worth repeating. We have a leader in the room that deserves our thanks for stepping up to the plate to do the right thing. And in today's climate, whether it's Alabama, Georgia, Arizona, and too many other places, we have lost leadership and lost our way as a result. But in Washington, we have a leader that has signed an executive order to ensure that no D.C. agency pursues the status of a resident, making it very clear that an immigrant, that a person that resides in the District of Columbia can come forward, can talk to a police officials, other officials, without fear of getting sideways with immigration and so forth. So for that reason, Mayor Gray, thank you so much for your support. Rosie is no stranger to the Latino Leaders Network, having recently joined us in Los Angeles to honor Henry Cisneros and personally autograph a whole lot of United States currency. Rosie is especially passionate about supporting women in finance. Who better to introduce our honoree and keynote speaker? Please welcome the Honorable Rosie Rios to the podium.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much, Mickey, for that lovely introduction. I want to say, first of all, congratulations to the Latino Leaders Network for hosting their 30th series. That is absolutely amazing. I'd like to say we have that in common in terms of age, but I can't really say that today. But it is indeed a small world. I just want to tell you just one quick little story of what happens in a month in my life. So 3 years ago, following a New America Alliance annual summer series, where I was an active participant in New America Alliance every year, in my job as managing director of an investment management firm, it was there at one of their annual events that I was inspired to attend the Democratic National Convention. And it happened to be at the Democratic National Convention where I attended my first ever Latino Leaders Network Luncheon. So what a small world. And it happened to be at that convention where I came up with this idea of working on the Latino vote in Virginia. And with the help of Henry Cisneros, I was able to launch a plan, working with many people in this room, including Walter Tejada and Suraya and a lot of friends. And so again, that was all within a month's time frame. So here we are 3 years later, and you just never really know how life's going to work out. But it's important, again, to stay connected, and it's events like this that allow us to do so. So thank you, Mickey, for your leadership. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for today's series, Julie Stav. She is a New York Times best-selling author. Julie Stav is America's leading expert and multimedia source on consumer and financial issues concerning the Hispanic community in the United States. Julie inspires and empowers, two of my favorite words, millions of people every day through her extremely popular national radio show, Tu Dinero con Julie Stav. Coined as the financial Pied Piper for the community of over 46 million U.S. Hispanics, she has made hundreds of appearances on the Univision television as their go-to expert on consumer and financial matters, as well as reaching over 11 million readers each month through a distribution agreement with Imprimedia Communications. Through these media properties, Julie empowers the U.S. Hispanic community with the tools they need to realize their financial goals of creating a banking identity, establishing and managing credit, opening and growing a small business, saving for their children's education, choosing a mutual fund, I could use your help, and acquiring the crown jewel of the great American dream, owning their own home, as well as saving and investing for a secure retirement. On October 30th, 2008, Julie was the proud recipient of the National Council on Economic Education 2008 Visionary Award, an accolade that honors champions of economic empowerment in all of its many forms, from those who have raised awareness about the need for economic and financial literacy, to those who have succeeded in their own chosen field by using sound economic decision-making and have turned that success into good public works. I look forward to seeing the many more contributions she makes in this area, given that this is an important issue in the Treasury Department and is striving to achieve as well as in the area of financial capability and access. And I just learned, to my surprise, that Julie is also a member of the HBO Latino list that recently was unveiled. So congratulations, Julie. It is my pleasure to introduce Julie Stav.
Wow, what an honor. Thank you. Let me get myself situated here. I have to tell you, well, first of all, thank you very much, Mickey, for this honor. Thank you to all of you that are so busy to come in and talk to me. That really, my job is to talk to our people. I am hopefully the first bridge that they cross when we come to this country that helps us all not only tackle the huddle of learning the English language, but also the language of money, which we all need to do. Now, being a woman and being a Latina and being in the money world, I've heard every single joke there is about being blonde and whatever, and I have to tell you that it really doesn't faze me at all because I know that I'm not stupid, and I know that I'm not blonde, so you take it a shot. Now, I also want to thank my dear, dear friend, Adriana Comellas Macretti, who took me to State Farm, who sponsored not just the PBS shows, but also the radio show, where every day I get hundreds of calls from people that want to make that American dream become a reality, and hopefully, they're now being able to achieve it thanks to your sponsorship. So thank you very much, Adriana. This award is really not about me. It's about the fact that we're out of denial. How many of us came to this country to watch novelas? To watch sports, for music? How many of us came here for a better financial future for us and for our family? We all did. This is the reason why I'm here, is because we are out of denial and we are ready